Good morning, everyone. I'd like to call to order the open meeting for Thursday, February 1st, 2024, and ask the Commission Secretary for information on today's agenda.
Each commissioner has independently reviewed the minutes of the open meeting of Thursday, January 4th, 2024, and each has informed me there's no need to discuss the minutes.
I move we approve the minutes from Thursday, January 4th, 2024.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Each commissioner has independently reviewed the agenda, and each has informed me there is no need to discuss the notices associated with agenda items 2 through 22, the draft order in docket 6275 SB 105 associated with agenda item 23, the suggested minute associated with agenda item 25 denying the request of Republic for a waiver of WIS admin code PSC 113.0803. The suggested minute associated with agenda item 26 denying the request of Brightwater for a waiver of WIS admin code PSC 113.0303 sub 1 regarding individual electric metering for a multi-dwelling unit residential building constructed after March 1st, 1980. The suggested minute associated with agenda item 27, approving the construction authorization as written with all conditions identified by commission staff in its memorandum dated December 21st, 2023, including the modification to condition 2 set forth in the footnote of page 18 in the memorandum. The suggested minute associated with agenda item 28, authorizing the applicant to defer the cost overruns only associated with dockets 6680 CE182 and 6680 CE183 without carrying costs and with all the conditions identified in Commission staff's memorandum dated January 18th, 2024, including the modification to condition 3 as proposed by the applicant. The suggested minute associated with agenda item 29, agreeing to dismiss the complaint by joint execution of a consent agreement between USIC LLC and the Commission, accepting the proposed consent agreement as drafted, which requires the respondent to pay a $6,000 forfeiture to the Commission and a $600 surcharge to Diggers Hotline, Inc., within 45 days of the effective date of the Commission's order approving the consent agreement, or double those amounts if the payment is late. Or the suggested minute associated with agenda item 30, agreeing to dismiss the complaint by joint execution of a consent agreement between USIC LLC and the Commission, accepting the proposed consent agreement as drafted, which requires the respondent to pay a $5,000 forfeiture to the Commission and a $500 surcharge to Diggers Hotline within 45 days of the effective date of the Commission's order approving the consent agreement, or double those amounts if the payment is late.
Thank you. I move we approve the notices of investigation associated with agenda items 2 through 11 and agenda item 22.
Second, all in favor?
Aye. I move we approve the notices of proceeding associated with agenda items 12 through 21.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
In docket 6725 SB 105, I move we approve the draft order.
Second, all in favor?
Aye. In docket 3270 EI 103, I move we deny the waiver requested consistent with the Secretary's description.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
In docket 4220 EI 110, I move we deny the waiver request consistent with the Secretary's description.
Second, all in favor?
Aye. In docket 4740 CE, I move we approve the application of the City of Plymouth consistent with the Secretary's description.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
In docket 6680 AF 107, I move we approve the deferral request consistent with the Secretary's description.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
In docket 9300 PLI 120, I move that we dismiss the complaint by joint execution of a consent agreement consistent with the Secretary's description.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
In docket 9300 PLI 124, I move that we dismiss the complaint by joint execution of a consent agreement consistent with the Secretary's description.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, that leaves our only item for discussion, agenda item 24, which is docket 1490-UI-100. This is an investigation into Cumberland Utility for the unauthorized construction of a new utility building. On June 6th of 2023, Cumberland filed an application for authority to construct a new building. Subsequent to that filing, Commission staff sent incompleteness letters to the utility on numerous occasions. The utility responded, and then finally, on October 6th of 2023, the commission determined that that application was complete. However, during the review of the application, commission staff discovered that the utility had performed earthwork and installed underground utilities at the proposed building site between September 27th, 2023 and October 9th, 2023 without commission authorization. So there's background in our memo about the utility and how many customers it serves and the need for the project and to construct the new building. There was a commercial agreement in place to sell an existing property to a private entity for expansion of that private entity's headquarters, and all of that makes perfect sense from a commercial standpoint. Unfortunately, as a regulated utility, this water utility is subject to our jurisdiction. And through the analysis that was performed by staff, commission staff believes that the utility performed $84,000 of construction work with full knowledge that without our approval, that work violated Wisconsin statute and Wisconsin administrative code. It's interesting to note that the construction actually commenced just 2 days after this utility submitted documentation to us, confirming that construction had not commenced. So again, staff and I understand the need for the new building, but we have rules. And we have rules in place for a reason, and it's become bordering on an alarming trend of disregarding some of our rules and using instead as a basis for skirting those rules is, well, but my business reason supersedes the law. That's not how it works when you're a regulated utility. So these rules are in place to protect customers, but also to protect the utilities from ensuring that the investments are prudent. And we can't have utilities with full knowledge of the rules out there digging, moving dirt, installing new facilities absent our approval. So in this particular case, and this has happened before, again, which is why I say it's bordering on alarming, just the flagrant disregard for our rules, but we have a decision. We can either take no action, we can reprimand the utility, we can refer them to the DOJ, or we can do something else. And so in terms of compliance, I'm going to be where I have been historically, which is that I'm at alternative 1 and alternative 3. Alternative 1 is determined that the utility violated state statutes and regulations by starting construction without prior commission authorization, and alt 3 is to send a letter of reprimand to the utility. So that's where I am for compliance. Commissioner Strand.
Thank you. I was also at alternative 1 and alternative 3 related to compliance. I agree with you that this was egregious, a blatant disregard and an intentional disregard of the rules. I also was alarmed by the fact that the utility did not submit comments to kind of acknowledge and discuss, that they did this and that they did not comply with the rules. So I was also at 4 to require them to submit a plan to avoid this happening in the future. Similar to what you said, this isn't the first time we've seen this. And I would like to ensure that the utilities are on the record saying, we know that what we did was wrong, and this is what we're going to do to avoid it happening in the future. So this doesn't become more of a trend than it already has. So that's the one place where we differ. I'm fine at staying with at 1 and 3 with you if that's what you would prefer. I think either way, we need to determine the violation and also reprimand the utility.
Yep. I think requiring them to submit a plan is fine. It's just sometimes in these cases, when is the next construction of a new building going to occur? Right? So I don't know if it's going to be that effective. Which is why I didn't choose it. So if you don't feel strongly, I would just stay at 1 and 3.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. The next decision we have is whether to allow the utility to seek rate recovery in a future rate case of the $84,000 in costs incurred for work performed prior to receiving authorization. This is, I think there's a nuance in here too that needs to be pointed out, that there's a presumption on behalf of the utility that they were going to receive authorization, and I think that's also a dangerous position for utilities to be in, to make an assumption about any decision that this commission is going to make or isn't going to make. And so we've seen this in different forms, and there have been occasions where I've allowed the utility to seek recovery, and there have been occasions where I haven't. And in this particular case, I think the disregard was so blatant and so flagrant that I'm at alternative 2. I would not allow the utility to seek recovery in its next rate case. I don't know what other way to send a message other than to send the message via what they can and can't recover. So I'm at alt 2.
Yep, I was there as well. I think it's very important to disavow the notion that any decision by the commission is a foregone conclusion, like you said. And we don't really have a lot of other opportunities to send messages. So I think it's important to be at alternative 2 here.
Great. Okay, then our final decision has to do with delegation. So we can either ask for this to come back to the commission, or we can have it remain delegated with the administrator of the Division of Energy Regulation and Analysis, and I'm fine keeping it delegated, so I was at alternative 2.
Okay, initially I was at 1 just because, of the changing members of this commission and making sure that we weren't hamstringing any future ability to review this, but I do have great faith in the division of Indira to make the right decisions here, so I can join you at 2 as well.
Okay, all right, great.
In docket 1490 UI 100, I move that we direct staff to take the actions consistent with our discussion.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay. That concludes our official business for today. Before we adjourn, this is my last open meeting, and that's why I have these up here, because I cry even at commercials. Currently, the Dick's Sporting Goods that features Shaka Smart is the one that brings me to tears, in case anybody wants to know where I am on my emotional journey. But I want to thank you all for coming, and more importantly, for being a part of this journey that I've been on for the last 5 years. For those of you who knew me before, you know that this job was the opportunity of a lifetime, and not because I wanted the recognition or the visibility. I can tell you honestly, if I never have to give an interview, I will be happy. So that's not what motivated me. What motivated me was this industry and the ability to learn, expand my knowledge base about this industry, and all of the faces that I'm seeing, and I'm not going to make eye contact, are just a testament to how awesome this industry is, from water to broadband to electric and gas. What we do is 24/7, 365, and that takes really special people. It takes people who are dedicated to finding the right technologies, doing the right things for their customers, doing the right things for their employees, and doing the right thing for the commission. And I'm really proud of what we've done over the last 5 years, but we've all done it together. And it hasn't always been easy. If you would have told me that we were going to face a global pandemic shortly after I started, maybe I would have said no thank you. But I don't think I would have. I think I would have still said yes, please, because I think the pandemic really afforded all of us an opportunity to hone in on what's important, and to make sure that we're really focused on the big picture and that we're not getting dragged down into fights or nasty discussions about the things that in the long term aren't going to serve Wisconsin residents well. And so I thank you all for being along with me on this journey. Most importantly, I thank the employees of the PSC. If there's one thing I hope you all have picked up, it's the fact that I've never uttered the word STAFF. I've never used that term because I don't view you as that. I view you as colleagues. And I think that over the course of this agency's history, you have demonstrated time and time again that you are the consummate professionals who keep the lights on and who keep the heat flowing. And for that, you deserve all of the praise and recognition in the world. It is a tough job doing what we do, and we do it for pennies on the dollar. And that is something to be commended. And I hope that you continue to do your work with the focus and the diligence that you have done over the last 5 years. I'm so incredibly proud to call you my colleagues, and I'm so incredibly proud to count among most of you now my friends. You've taught me a lot. And we have some really heady issues facing this industry. I'm not going away. I'm not going anywhere. I'm just going to be in Milwaukee. And I'm still keenly interested in all of the issues that face us. But this industry, we have to continue to have each other's backs because we are heading into some times that have never been encountered before. And I say it all the time, and it's because I believe it. There is no state better positioned to take on the challenges and the issues that face us, from clean drinking water to the expansion of broadband to an equitable, affordable, and timely and orderly transition than the state of Wisconsin. And I couldn't be more confident of that than I am sitting here right now. The commission is well positioned to go into the future and to do really great things. Commissioner Strand is going to be an incredible leader. She has shown already she's not afraid to work. She's not afraid to roll up her sleeves. She's not afraid to ask tough questions. Christine Nieto, what an incredible honor to have been able to work with you and see you through the different positions that you've held. You're going to be an incredible commissioner. Carrie Templeton, literally my right hand from the minute that I walked in here. Thank you for everything you've done. I think we probably spent 80% of our waking hours either talking to each other or we were with each other. And I couldn't have navigated this without you, so thank you. To Cindy Smith, the incomparable Cindy Smith, I'm happy that we were able to get in some golf rounds and each get a little shot of birdie juice. You know, people refer to you as the fourth commissioner. That's not a secret. Cindy knows where all the bodies are buried, and she's not afraid to point them out. But at Cindy's core, she is dedicated to following the letter of the law, and that keeps this agency successful, as is evident by the robust court cases that we have in play at any given time. And so thank you for your counsel, but more importantly, thank you for your friendship. To Kira Penoyer, who I tapped and had to do a little bit of arm wrestling to get you here. Thank you for coming here and for bringing with you just the perfect outlook at the perfect time, and for always reminding me of why we are here and the role of good government. You're going to be great, and this commission is in really good hands. Matt Sweeney, I can't, you've been with me from the beginning. Thanks for lending the muscle. But thank you, too, for always reminding us of why we're here and always keeping the long game in mind. You are an absolute pleasure to work with, and I thank you for everything. Crew and Megan, I don't know what I'm going to do on Thursdays now that I'm going to have to look at the backs of your heads. It's going to be an adjustment for me, but thank you both. You make coming into the commissioner's office a joy each and every day, and it's been a pleasure. And the last person I'm going to thank is the person that's sitting in the back of the room, and I'm not going to make eye contact, and that's my husband, Rob. There's no way I would have been able to do this without Rob's support. It's 4 hours all in, getting here and then getting back home. And I'm not shy about talking about the fact that I'm a mom first, and my kids are 16 and 12. So they were 11 and 7 when I started, and there were lots of tears about me having to be in Madison as much as I was here, especially in the beginning. And Rob was the one who kept it all together, emotionally and logistically. So I can't thank you enough. I like to tease that my ulterior motive of taking this job was to try to get him to finally cook. And we've had some success in that area, but I fear that now that I'm going to have more time on my hands, I'm going to have to go back to that full-time role. So thank you, Rob. And if there's anybody I've forgotten, it is not intentional. I just want to thank you. I want to thank you for your friendship and for your counsel and for just really always being driven by getting to the right answer. It's tough, and sometimes there's a ton of pressure to decide something a certain way. And I've said it before that I have personal opinions. A lot of you know what my personal opinions are. I've had to set those aside because that's not what this job is about. This job is about looking at the data and the information and looking at the facts in front of us. And though it pained me at times to make certain decisions, I hope that it's recognized that I did it because I was being faithful to the law and to the record that was in front of me. Because I think that when we start to erode that and we start to make decisions based on pressure, whatever that pressure is, whether it's moral pressure, political pressure, whatever is exerting that pressure, if we move away from the facts and the data and the science and what's in front of us, then we cease to be independent, and who loses is all of us as customers of utilities, all of us as consumers of utilities, to be quite honest. So thank you for indulging me. I'm going to stop talking now. I'm going to miss you all, and to say otherwise would be a huge mistruth. And so thank you for all that you have been, and thank you for all that you do. And I wish you nothing but the best. I wish you good health, and I wish you good humor, because at the end of the day, it's humor that's going to get us through some of these days. And Mon, thank you. Steadfast Mon, always. I mean, you just, any question, any time of day I knew that I could count on you, so thank you. Okay, that's it. I'm done. Anybody
We have
else?
something for you too, Becky. Thank you. I also don't like to cry on camera, but get emotional over commercials and other various things. But we do, on behalf of the Public Service Commission of Wisconsin, we do want to present you with a certificate of commendation. I think it's important to read the whole thing, so bear with us, because we tried to encapsulate everything that you've meant to the commission over the last 5 years. So, on behalf of the people of Wisconsin, I'm especially pleased to salute Chairperson Rebecca Cameron Bach in recognition of distinguished service to the state of Wisconsin. Today, we commend Rebecca Cameron Bach, Chairperson of the Public Service Commission, for distinguished service to the people of the state of Wisconsin. In January 2019, Governor Tony Evers appointed Rebecca to serve as a commissioner at the Public Service Commission. In March of 2019, Governor Evers appointed her commission chairperson, the first Latina to serve in this important role. For 5 years, Rebecca honorably represented the commission and shaped the future of utility services and broadband access in Wisconsin. Rebecca's intellect, positivity, and passion for this work guided her every action at the commission. Throughout her tenure, she led with purpose, thoughtfully defining the values of the commission and fostering a culture of respect and inclusion. Her unique ability to uplift others by encouraging all team members to be better and do better for the people of Wisconsin will have a lasting impact on the agency. Rebecca recognized the important role the commission plays in the lives of Wisconsin citizens. To encourage greater public participation and awareness, she prioritized accessibility and transparency in the commission's work. Her efforts to champion diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives brought new voices and diverse perspectives to the decision-making process and created novel opportunities for commission, it says staff, but we're going to change that to colleagues, and external stakeholders. She improved the visibility of the commission by visiting communities and building strong partnerships across our great state. Rebecca served as chairperson during a period of rapid change in Wisconsin's transition to zero-carbon electricity and efforts to expand high-speed broadband internet to all. During a global pandemic, she advanced critical measures to keep residents safe and connected and prioritized public health, safety, and well-being. No matter the challenge, Rebecca demonstrated strong leadership and a steadfast resolve. Rebecca has made a difference in the lives of Wisconsinites by ensuring the provision of safe, reliable, affordable, and environmentally responsible utility services and equitable access to telecommunications and broadband services. Rebecca's legacy as chairperson paves a path to continued success for the agency and the state for many years to come. Thank you, Becky, for your outstanding service to the commission and the state. You and your exemplary leadership will be missed. We commend you.
All right.
I'm not going to open it
Thanks,
completely up,
everybody.
but
That concludes our official business for today. The next open meeting is, yeah.
I have to adjourn.
no,
Yep,
no,
yep.
But I do this first. Cindy, I still know what I'm doing. The next open meeting is scheduled for Thursday, February 8th, 2024 at 10:30 a.m. May I have a motion to adjourn?
Yes. I move we stand adjourned until Thursday, February 8th, 2024.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We're adjourned. Thanks, everybody.